You need second
don't
level.
really.
So click on expand for known spells. Oh yeah, you prepare your spells every day, so you know all your spells. Okay, cool. So click expand known spells. Okay, so we need to prepare spells.
6 of them. Wow.
So first of all, let's start with second level, just
Wow.
because you only get one cast of these a day. So you're probably gonna pick 2 second level spells to have prepared.
I need some more like range things or some things to do, or some
range things to
utility
do.
or some utility things. I don't know.
John wants to do
Okay.
something other than just throw cantrip firebolts at stuff.
I
Well-
do like that, but I want to do something
Well,
else.
but you're okay. So let's.
Sure.
I think this is just good for everyone to understand. Your astral form lets you do that like pretty consistently, right? So your starry form, you can choose constellation, and then like if you choose the archer, for instance,
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
You
By the way, Moonbeam. Yes.
you make a ranged spell attack on a hit. Okay, so actually that just kind of gives you like little poke damage. Yeah, if you want ranged spells for druid, Moonbeam's decent. I think like the sphere is a decent one. The flaming sphere.
The sphere.
Flaming sphere.
Flaming sphere. Yeah.
Or like yeah. What else is up there? If you go up.
Moonbeam. Sorry.
Yeah, those are probably the attacks that you have good action with.
How many do I get in this? Any more?
I'd probably take like 2 second level spells and 4 first level spells.
So prepare, Moonbeam.
Yeah. And then if you want a utility one, like, yeah.
Flaming sphere.
That's cool. And then I'd go over to first level.
You can change these two afterwards, John.
Yeah, you get to change these every day. That's the cool thing about your class, is you could change it every day.
I had no idea that. Cool.
Yeah. So like Ice Knife is an interesting first level spell. So is Thunderwave for AoE. Ice Knife is like, let's hit something and ricochet to the next one. Thunderwave is like a little right in front of you AoE thing.
That's how you capture the rare Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Thunderwave.
And then you got like.
I mean, everyone has dark vision right now.
Yeah, they're not worried about that. We're trying to add first level spells, so yeah, let's stay in the first level. Actually, you can unclick the second. Yeah, that helps.
There we go.
Cure Wounds heals. That's cool for that. Healing Word heals on a bonus action, so that might even be better.
I can do this. Oh wait, which one's better?
Healing Word.
We're getting it.
Yeah, probably like Ice Knife, and you might take Speak with Animals just because you use that pretty regularly. The Speak with Animals one. Down a little bit lower. Yeah. And then yeah, maybe like Fog Cloud or Entangle is interesting if you want to like get somebody who's running away from you or something. So
who
do we just
Entangle?
lose?
Alright, let's do it. Anyway, let's
go. John Abbott. Alright, cool. Now you're good.
Okay, cool. Thanks guys. I apologize for this. Yeah, things have been crazy.
Aldrich, let me know when you get the stream so I can send it to.
It's not video games. It's tabletop. It's like, come on, we got to go. Daddy's about to play video games. It's not video games.
It's not video.
How dare you? Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. We ready to roll in? Everybody feel good?
We are
Characters
ready to
up?
go.
All right.
Wait.
Let's do it.
Wait. John Abb is making some symbols.
I can't hear you. No. We used to be able to.
Yeah. Plug in the microphone, John.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. In 9 minutes, I will have to go put my oldest to sleep. He goes to bed at 8:30. So I'll let you know when it's time.
Cool.
Probably leave my headphones in so I can hear everything. So, but
yeah.
let's do it.
All right. All right. So last we left off, you had spent some time joining some of the different factions in Waterdeep. You did a number of quests, saved a cat, fought some scarecrows. What else did we do? We discovered that a thief story was more like a tabloid than reality. What else we do? What am I missing?
To the Adventure Recaps channel. Oh, we saved the cat.
Yeah.
We saved the cat lady.
And
Old cat lady.
And Bigsby got awakened.
Bigsby did get awakened.
And Bigsby and I shared a moment.
Yep. And Chris does not like the fact that Bigsby
no.
is talking.
I've been stewing on this for a whole
Yeah.
week. I do not like Bigsby.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to learn to deal with that. Anyway, as you were heading back home to your base, restored tavern in Troll Skull Alley, as you rounded the corner, we ended the session with a loud bang. And so we'll pick it up there. Windows rattle as the roar of an explosion fills Troll Skull Alley. Charred bodies and anguished screams fly through the air. A thick cloud of acrid smoke billows outward from the blast, which seems to have occurred right outside your door. I know you were just returning back, but your instincts and sort of knowledge of the area says we've got some time. We got a little bit of time until the City Watch shows up to investigate. What is it we'd like to do?
Yeah, I think my character, the way that I'm wired, Aldrich is going to scan for any civilians who are hurt by the fire blast. So what am I seeing?
So I mean, it's kind of carnage, right, on the street level. There's several bodies of actual casualties. There's a few people who are sort of staggering off to the side. I would say it's more chaos than any single thing in particular going on in front of you.
Okay. So to the rest of the party, where normally I would be kind of the first one into the fray to respond to emergencies, you look at Aldrich, who's kind of leading the pack around this corner, and you see him freeze, and you see the whites of his eyes, which is really uncharacteristic for a moment like this, and it's not really clear what's going on, except that there is carnage in front of us, and Aldrich not knowing what to do, and being paralyzed with indecision until somebody snaps me out of it.
Yeah, Chris, in a moment of seriousness, Aldrich, snap out of it, buddy. We need you. You're our leader. Let's help these civilians. This is not okay. And I'm gonna beckon to. I mean, I don't know, Frank. Are there any kids that have gotten injured in this accident?
No. So give me an Arcana check. Anyone who's magically inclined, give me an Arcana check.
I'm -1. I'm not even gonna roll it.
Yeah.
I'll roll an 11.
I'm a +0, so I can roll with.
Yeah, just roll. Just give me a roll.
Let's see what happens.
Not great rolls. Yeah.
So none of us know why it happened.
Well,
Hold
okay,
on.
so
Did it
you
work?
do get the sense.
I don't think mine rolled yet. Hold on.
Yeah, just click the plus next to Arcana.
There we go.
11.
All 11s.
All right, so for those of you above 10, what I'm really asking for here is this is a general sense for how magic works, in your world that you've grown up in and lived in your entire life. So in our world, if an explosion happens, there's a lot of things that could go wrong, right? Like in the aftermath of that explosion, a building could collapse or something like that. This was a magical incident, right? So it's a spell going off, which is going to cause an amount of damage to the people there, but it doesn't necessarily usually damage buildings, right? So this was sort of a moment of chaos, and then there is an odd calm, and there's a scene now instead of it being there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So instead of like this being a war zone, it's like something happened. There is aftermath. Like you can sort of explore that aftermath, but like we're not necessarily at risk of like the building falling over or something
Got it.
like weird like that.
So
happening,
we're
if that
not
makes sense.
responding to like environmental catastrophe.
Yeah, you get the sense like this was an explosion caused by some sort of spell.
Okay.
Right?
I feel like
So-
I feel like instinctually I would want to first see if anybody is like hurt that we can like help
Right.
immediately.
Yeah. So if in scanning the scene, you are able to identify that there are 11 casualties. In terms of people hurt, like seriously hurt outside of the casualties, not the case, right? There really isn't anyone. This is consistent with like sort of a spell that hits an area. Like people who are caught up in it, dead. People who, you know, like they're in the chaos of the surrounding. There's not anyone crying out for help, right?
Would we get the vibe that this was a targeted attack on a group of people?
We can maybe sort that out as we
Yeah.
investigate.
Okay.
But it would certainly like if someone, a commoner, a non-adventurer who's caught in this explosion, is dead, right? Like that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
So in a quick scaling or a quick surveying of the area, this would take you maybe 30 seconds. You run into these 11 casualties. There's one elderly female human, with no one recognizing that person. There are two cloaked male humans, clad in leather armor with sheathed longswords. There are two female humans and one male half-elf dressed in plain clothes. There's one male gnome wearing a burned cloak and clutching a dagger. And there are two female halflings carrying a flute and a fiddle next to two male halflings that are in close proximity. And those are the casualties of this explosion.
Is it common to be armed in this part of Waterdeep?
I would place them as out of place. Like this is your neighborhood. You walked around in the neighborhood for a whole week and didn't get robbed or anything like that. So potentially not.
What is this location again? Where this whole thing took place? Like, what's the? Is
Yeah,
it
you're-
outside, or is this like at a specific building or like tavern or?
Let me bring up the map for Troll Skull Alley. Hang on. So if you remember this map, theoretically, like this happened, sorry, let me just like
everyone grab an eraser.
In this area, right?
Gotcha.
Don't worry too much about the rest. We're not going to use this map too often,
Okay.
but like this is the area of the fireball, right? So
Are
it's
there any-
right outside your door.
Are there any witnesses around like that are alive, basically that like may have?
Yeah. There are certainly some eyewitnesses. Mm-hmm. A number of them.
I feel like my instinct in this situation would be like we need to ask somebody like what's happened here.
Dean, while you do that, maybe Chris, Aldrich, maybe you're following the suit. Like it is odd that some of these folks are have weapons on them. Maybe we investigate the bodies of, like you said, there was a cloaked gnome with a dagger. So maybe while you talk to people, Dean, at least Chris, maybe Aldrich, if you want to join, we investigate the dead bodies.
I'm still
Yeah.
locked.
So
okay.
So we're gonna give, like, there are 5 of you, right? And in the minutes that you have until the City Watch arrive, you probably all have time to do a small action. If you're questioning someone fully, like that's probably going to take the entirety of the time. If you're searching a body, we can probably search several of them, right? You know, if you're casting a spell to, like, I don't know if anyone you all have Speak with Dead, I'm kind of giving away a plot there, but if you have that, then that's, you know, a typical use of something like that, right? It's not, none of that is required to get to the bottom of what happened, but like each one of you can spend some time questioning someone. You could search several of the bodies. You can do that kind of thing. So
I don't think we got a lot of time to ask questions. I think we should just divide it up and search.
Does everyone want to just play out their
clues on other people?
Everyone want to play out their own turn really quick?
They're 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's more like 10 minutes, but yeah. I mean you guys were there on scene. It's not like you had to show up, right?
Did we see the explosion or just hear it as we rounded the corner?
We'll say you saw, you didn't see it originate, but you did see like sort of you saw like a fireball, right? So yeah.
You didn't see the plane go into the building.
Yeah, like you weren't like looking right at the spot, right? But like
yeah,
you were looking ahead and then bam,
but,
right?
But it's okay that we divide it sort of in this situation and like each individually do one thing. Okay, because I feel like what I would instinctually do is want to ask somebody like somebody that may have seen this, like what has happened.
Cool. All right, so I've got 3 options for like people who you could talk to that are like notable witnesses. One is Fala, who you've met. She's the owner of Coralon's Crown, which is one of the shops. Hang on just a second. I can give you the information on what was in that shop. That is like the herbalist, right? And one of you would have met her at some point in the last week. There is a Waterhaven noble who is standing by, who is close to Tiger's Eye, which is the private investigator shop. And then there is a young boy who is a halfling and is particularly like looks a little distraught at the other halflings that are in the street. So those would be the I think the 3 notable people that are around and look approachable in terms of asking them what's going on.
Okay, and we already know Fala, you said? Like we've already met her?
We've met Fala, yeah.
I think I think I would probably go up to Fala and ask
her. Oh yes, you're the neighbor, the adventurer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so what has happened here?
Well, I was watering my plants in the greenhouse on the 2nd floor of my shop. The blast blew out some of the windows. I didn't get injured or anything, but through the smoke, I saw a cloaked man take something from the body of that gnome over there and started limping away. He looked like he was badly burned, and he kept looking over his shoulder, like he was worried somebody might be following. He was headed down towards the bent nail.
Can you ping that on the map?
Yeah, let me figure out which one it is. It's in a different chapter, so bear with me for a second.
Okay, so the gnome.
The bent nail would be down this alleyway. It's this one. Okay.
So the cloaked man took something from one of the bodies and went toward the bent nail. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Should we?
Okay.
I'll give you time to do something else, Dean, because that's a pretty quick, like, you didn't have to interrogate her, but let's go to someone else's turn and we can come back around to you as we go.
Chris is going to go. Go ahead.
I would like to speak instead of the nobleman.
Yeah.
What's his name?
You haven't met him. He's standing outside the Tiger's Eye, which is one of the shops close by. Yeah, he's just standing around. Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'll speak to him. All right, so I approach him. What time of day is it? Afternoon? Evening?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Evening. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. My name is Master Volan. I'm with this group of misfits over here. We saw this explosion, and we saw you. I see you standing here. Just wondering what you may have seen to help guide us towards how this originated. What happened here? What did you see? What do you know?
I'll tell you this. It wasn't a man. It was sort of like a puppet shaped like a man. It was on the rooftop over there, and he just points over to one of the other rooftops. It hurled something into the crowd below that caused the explosion. I saw those halflings burned alive. Like I saw it. Are you going to stop them?
Well, we'll try, absolutely. So it was on this rooftop right over here, and he threw the object down into it, and is the object what exploded?
I think so.
Okay. Any other information you can give us?
No, but I'm certainly worried about these those puppets, making trouble in our neighborhoods.
Puppets, you say?
Yeah, it was mechanical for sure.
Mechanical puppets. Well, obviously you can't have a puppet without somebody controlling it. Did you happen to see any other beings nearby these puppets, so-called puppets?
No, that was it. It didn't have any strings on it or anything. Like maybe an automaton of some kind.
Okay. You guys got anything to add? Anything you want to ask this guy?
This is just you, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is just you. You're spreading out.
Me.
So
it's just me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, sir, I thank you for the information. We will take that. I'll take that back to the group, and we'll see what we can find.
Great.
Frank, I'll be really quick with mine. We can take it less than a minute for this. Because instinctually, Chris would sprint to the young boy, who looks very distraught and looks like maybe we can be quick with this one. But son, are you okay?
I think so. What happened to them? And he points to the kids.
We're gonna find out for you. Were they family to you?
Just my friends.
Okay. I know a thing or two about friends maybe being more than just friends and turning into family. We'll do our best to avenge them. Did you happen to see where the bad guys went?
No, but I found this. Right after the explosion, I ducked behind this barrel and I heard a plop. Here, you can have it, mister. And he hands you a necklace with 2 red beads on it.
Okay. Does Chris recognize this necklace?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check. Without an identify spell, like, you're gonna need really high roll here, but
okay. It's not like a necklace from his childhood or anything like that. Okay. 19.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. So, this is a necklace of fireballs with 2 remaining beads on it.
Got it. Okay. Chris
for
says,
those of you,
thank you.
For those of you, yeah, you're good. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, necklace of fireballs, there are beads, and you throw the beads, and at the place that the bead lands, a fireball explodes. So what we're probably stumbling upon here is the murder weapon. One thing, Chris, that you need to understand as you hold this item here, if you choose to keep this from the Night's Watch, or from the City Watch, the City Watch, that is a crime in Waterdeep. Like, you've been introduced to sort of the list of laws. It's punishable with a fine of up to 200 gold pieces and hard labor for up to a 10-day. Right, so you can either choose to turn this over to the city, the watch when they get here, or you might want to keep that hidden. Your character would know this at this point, right?
Okay,
it's pretty obvious.
So. I thank you, son. Go back in. We'll make sure your friends are okay, and we'll take it from here. And Chris stashes the necklace of fireball in his pocket and sprints back to the rest of the group.
Okay. Who's next? Aldrich? Were you doing something?
So, cut back.
But wait. Before, I'm going to be on mute while I put my kid down, but I can hear everything. So just you keep doing your thing. I'll be right back.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So I stood up so that I can physically be in Aldrich's body here. So we came around the corner. We heard the explosion. We see the carnage. Aldrich sees the bodies and freezes. And Chris calls out to him and tries to awaken him from the stupor, but you just see Aldrich standing there staring glassy-eyed, like not knowing what to do. All the way through, each of you dispersing and starting to help. And when Dean is speaking with the victim, who mentions that a man with a cloak took something off the gnome's body and wandered towards the bent nail, you just hear a flutter or a whoosh of a cloak and footsteps of gauntlets, and Aldrich bolts down this path towards the bent nail. As I start to run, I unsheath my greatsword, and you hear me dragging, and the tip is dragging on the ground as I run. because I am so focused on getting there as quickly as I can that I'm not even concerned with proper tactical advancement into this space. I'm running past shop fronts. I'm running past people who are going to the commotion, who are trying to figure out what's going on. And I am just repeating in my mind, cloak and limp, as I almost frantically search each of these storefronts and look around looking for somebody that matches the description of the person who lifted something off the body. So, Frank, I don't know what you want to do with that. But I'm like crazed almost. Like inconsolably out of control looking for this person.
Yeah, as you get down the hallway there, give me like a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. I roll a 9.
Yeah, you aren't able to pick up any sort of trails from him. There are just sort of people who have wandered around the corner, and they're sort of like there to like see what the City Watch does when they show up, but they want to be far away from the scene as to not be implicated in any way.
Okay.
So
then the only thing that I'm gonna do is go door to door, banging and asking if anybody had seen or heard anything about a person that matches that description. Like, probably disturbing the peace to a pretty significant deal. Until somebody from my party come and physically retrieves me. Like, I'm not going back until someone intervenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these are mostly like workman shops and stuff, and they might not have even heard the blast as they were blacksmithing or wood chopping, so
Sure.
you're not going to get much out of them. And they know you, like you've met all of them and done business with some of them, so they're just like, calm down, son, like, and probably not able to console you. Cool. So we'll go to Blizzak. What were you doing?
So do we all see where everyone went in the group?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
We've pretty much got all of the approachable witnesses at this point that people kind of went off to. So that's the
Okay.
first step. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna investigate some of the bodies.
Okay.
Wait, unless I already did that.
We didn't quite do that yet. No.
Okay, so I was gonna look at the halfling bodies first.
All right. Yeah. These seem like you might indicate that like these were innocent bystanders. One's carrying a flute, the other a fiddle. The other two males are young children. So, yeah, these would not really be indicative of what actually happened here. So, or like what motivated this attack.
Okay, and so that applies to all the bodies.
The halflings.
So let's see. What were the other bodies? There
was an elderly female human. There are 2 cloaked male humans, clad in leather armor and sheathed longswords. There's 2 female humans and 1 male half-elf dressed in plain clothes. And then there's 1 male gnome wearing a burned cloak and clutching a dagger.
And that's the one that got...
Oh.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
That gnome was the one that something was plucked off of him, right? With the dagger. That's probably the one to look at.
I don't know.
That the
I don't know if I said anything was plucked off of him, but there, yeah.
I'll investigate the gnome then.
All right. So the dead gnome, he's got dry waste on his boots and cloak, suggesting he spent time in like the sewers recently. If you look closely, he's also got a pouch containing 5 100 gold piece gemstones.
Okay. I guess I'll take the gemstones for now.
Yeah.
But
in order to do that stealthily, you're going to need to give me a dexterity check, sleight of hand.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Where are the guards here too?
And the check is an 18. No, I'm just kidding.
They're coming very quickly.
Come on, do it, Blizzak.
I rolled a 14.
Let your inner fist out.
You rolled a 14?
Okay.
You
they were.
You do grab the bag of gems, and no one seems to have taken notice.
Good job.
So you can add that to your inventory. Later. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. What else we got?
So, yeah. I don't know who we're on right now.
Back to you, I think.
We'll give it to everybody. Yeah, we can. Whoever wants to go again.
Okay. We like huddle back. The non-Aldrich group. We all huddle back and share our findings.
Yeah, I was going. Yeah, actually go on.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say just to kind of end off my conversation with Fala, as I'm talking to her, and as she indicates to the gnome that, and then you see Biggs or you see Blizzak walking up to that gnome. I'm like, is that the gnome that the cloaked figure took something from?
Yeah, you could assume that the gnome was like being threatened in some way.
Okay. So then I think now let's get together and share our findings.
Yeah. Silvar, if he was here, would share that the puppet fact, and then I think very specifically that it came from the rooftops. Which Chris is gonna.
Where's Aldrich right now?
Aldrich is in the he's in the bent nail.
No, I know. I'm mostly I'm in character. I'm in character talking to you. I'm like because Blizzak, everybody's here right now, and our Aldrich isn't to be seen. I mean, does anybody know where he went?
And Chris says I saw the look that he gave me when I asked him what was going on was unlike anything I've ever seen in a man. We need to go find him.
We need to find him, yeah.
And based off of what Silvar just shared, I think some of us need to go by rooftop, and some of us need to go on foot on the streets, so we have coverage in both areas.
I'll go by ground since I'm closest to the ground.
I can go by rooftop with Silvar.
With Chris. Okay, with Silvar. Okay, I'll join Blizzak. All right, let's go on our way, and then Chris takes the fireball necklace and he just shoves it into like the sock of his shoe really tight, and is making it a point not to let the team know that he has that necklace.
Cool. Okay, so we don't know. Okay.
You guys do not know.
We weren't going to investigate the other bodies, right?
I wanted to find Aldrich and then come back.
Oh yeah, good idea.
So Chris and Blizzak, we're going up down this alley. Dean, Silvar, you guys are probably.
Yeah. I'll let you get it. You get on the roofs pretty easily because that's your establishment you're using. You can just get up in the turret and jump on the roofs. I will say that as you're traveling that way, a Griffin rider from the City Watch comes flying by, and he's like, "You there! Get off the roofs! This is this area is under lockdown.
Sorry.
Return to your dwelling."
Okay. So we just get off the roof.
Yeah.
What if Bigsby stayed on the roof? They're not going to yell at a cat, right? Just so we had eyes up there. And then Bigsby gets snatched up by a griffin.
Could I use my +4 persuasion to convince them that we were ordered to be up there to investigate?
Did the Griffin Rider just shout this as he flew by?
Yeah, he's just like...
Okay, so I don't know if we can persuade.
Yeah.
So, you see Master Volan raise a finger and go...
Wait, come back! Okay, alright, I guess we're getting down.
Yeah.
Alright, go.
Alright, theoretically, you can hear Aldrich at some point as you get close to the bent nail.
You want me to paint the picture of what I'm doing in there?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, do that.
So, Frank, really quick, help me set the scene. Are we talking like it's like late afternoon? So you've got the afternoon crowd starting to trickle in a bit, right? You've got tables with people drinking.
Oh, this isn't. Bentnail's not a tavern. Bentnail is the wood shop, the construction shop. Like you guys live in the neighborhood's tavern, if you remember, right? So this is the carpenter shop. Yeah.
Got it. So as you guys round the corner, you hear this conversation with the owner or whoever is working at the Bent Nail, as Aldrich is clearly at the end of his rope, escalating this situation, and the person working is trying to de-escalate and explain that he has no idea what I'm talking about. And I keep asking louder and louder, where is he? Where is he? As I'm like inching uncharacteristically closer to this person who's trying to back me off the ledge. I'm just getting louder and louder and getting more and more upset as I am not finding an answer to the questions that I'm asking.
I think we all just generally meet up and then approach him at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the carpenter is like, look, son, I don't know. You were closer to it than me. I've been in here making the furniture that you ordered.
At hearing that, I have at this point sheathed my greatsword. I'm out of sheer frustration. I'm going to raise a fist and bring it down on whatever workbench he's working on. And when my fist hits the workbench, you see like a small flash of white light. And
try and smite the workbench? Is
yes,
that what you just did?
Yes.
One damage.
I probably broke the workbench or damaged it, and it's going to delay the furniture getting delivered. My bad. We'll talk about it later. But I do it, and I turn, and as I turn, my eyes meet you guys, and you see that same white flash that happened with my fist, completely obscuring both eyes, and then like just like you saw it, it went away, and I was back to normal.
Cool.
I reach my hand out, I put it on Aldrich's shoulder, and I say, my friend, the storm is coming. No need to stir it up yourself.
I just kind of grunt
right.
and walk out of the shop with you guys in tail.
All right, cool. So we walk out of the shop together.
Wait, for flavor, can we have the thing that the guy ruined be Bigsby's litter box? Wasn't there a litter box? Maybe it's like the ornate litter box. And Bigsby says like
not the ornate litter box.
No.
Okay. Okay, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Bigsby's like, "Oi, you better not ruin my litter box." Anyway, so we've walked out of the tavern at this point, and we've exhausted all our initial leads, and as we could tell, the city watch is starting to arrive. What do we want to do next?
I'm gonna ask them what they found, because I have no idea what they've talked about. I'm assuming you guys bring me up to speed.
Blizzak, is that something shining in your pocket right now?
Give me a. I don't know that you saw that. We're not gonna give you that.
Okay.
No, but did we happen to see? Chris, did you save the necklace?
I must have lost everyone.
I stuffed the necklace into the sock of my shoe really tight and conspicuously. Yeah.
Is there a chance that I, with my
detect magic
+2, yeah.
Well, detect magic is a deliberate action.
That I might have seen him slip it in there. That he wasn't as stealthily inclined as he thought he was.
Well, was Blizzak being stealth about this? I know that Chris was being stealth about his thing, but
Blizzak sounded like he was just looting the body.
So I guess I'm wondering.
Wait. Blizzak did pass the dex check to do it stealthily, so.
He did, so I don't think that we saw that, but I'm talking Chris took the necklace and put it in his sock. There was no stealth check for that. Is there a chance that we may have seen that?
Wait,
he thinks he did it and doesn't know that we saw it.
Really quick. No, you guys were off doing own things. He was talking to a little kid that was behind a rain barrel.
Yeah,
right?
I was controlling a child.
I think if Chris knows that if he hangs on to the necklace and Aldrich finds out, there are going to be some fucking issues. So I think that if he found it and decided to keep it, he's not going to tell us.
What I'm
I don't know,
wondering,
that could be really useful. That's all I have to say.
What I'm wondering, did Blizzak, did you tell us that you found the money?
Blizzak's not good. I think I was going to reveal that I found the gemstones.
Okay, so we don't know yet, but you're.
Are you telling us now?
I was going to tell you now, yeah.
I'm gonna come off real fucking intense.
Listen, I'm just. I see,
I can't do it.
I see the city watch start to gather in the street.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're down the street, right?
But they're starting to show up. They're starting to show up, and we know soon there's going to be more. They're not there yet, but we know they're coming. We're starting to get a little anxious that a few of us known looters may have something in their pockets that I don't want to get caught with by the city watch as they roll in the town.
I immediately say
before that.
Okay.
Before that, if we're sharing information and Silvar explains the testimony that he got from that noble that he spoke with, right? I want all of my Waterdeep, locals to roll a history check.
Yeah, history.
No, I'm not.
I rolled a 12.
14.
12, okay. Well, what else?
12, 14.
14.
Yeah. Okay. So the description of like a puppet that's moving on its own does ring a bell for y'all. It sounds a lot like the automatons that sometimes march in the Day of Wonders parade. So if you've been there in the fall, it's sponsored by the local Temple of Gond. So that could be a lead in terms of figuring out what kind of creature that was potentially.
Temple of what?
Gond.
The Temple of Gond. Yeah. In Waterdeep, it's known as the House of Inspired Hands.
Okay.
So that could be lead, but
now,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know this because I'm not from Waterdeep, but I'm assuming that they're telling.
But you shared the description, and they're like, "Hey, like that makes sense."
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Temple of God.
So one of us or me or somebody else relays this knowledge to the group that hey, there's a chance that this meets the description of a automaton from the Temple of Gond. We could always at some point go check that out. Is there anything more that we want to do here though?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to what Master Volan said about looting. What do you mean looting? Did you guys take anything off of the bodies? I am asking my party directly. Did you take anything off the bodies?
Chris,
I might have stumbled across a couple gemstones on the gnome.
A couple, you say?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
Chris says,
can I show him all the gemstones?
Yeah, you can show. Yeah.
Show him all the gemstones.
I'm gonna look at Blizzak and not like a figure of authority, but just like kind of like trying to urge him, like these are the bodies of people that had friends and family and were citizens of Waterdeep, and I need you to return what you found because it doesn't belong to us.
Good luck doing that as the watch has surrounded the area and quarantined off the bodies that you originally searched. So
okay,
I would say to Aldrich, what's done is done. We'll get in more trouble if we tried putting it back. And
do we know
honestly, we could use the money.
You guys are going to learn the not fun parts of playing with the Paladin because that does not go over well with me. I am stewing. I don't accept that. But I will not create much more of a fuss because I'd rather have an issue with you morally and not be detained than be prisoners. We're going to fucking talk about this later.
I think it's fine to have the moral tension. I think that'll be good. The moral tension will be good.
We don't know who the victims at all. Like, I didn't get a sense of who that did.
You knew them well enough to steal from them.
Well,
hey, you didn't need them anymore.
Now that we have potentially done some incriminating things in the form of Blizzak here, I do not suggest that we go back to explore.
Hold on.
The
Yes.
bodies.
I'm going to
Go
ask
right
him
to the
what
temple.
which body he took it from.
I took it off the gnome.
But wait.
Okay. As soon as he says that, I'm going to walk towards the City Watch.
Oh.
I'm while okay.
Just
Did I use
just-
my Jedi mind trick on Aldrich?
no. I mean, if you want.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Frank, so I'm gonna get down and what do I see? Do I see the City Watch beginning to congregate around the bodies?
Yeah, they've quarantined off the area rather efficiently. There is also there are two people who appear to be in charge, and I'll post this image in the chat.
Are either of them Stagged?
No.
Fuck.
He was the dock ward, right? But you do recognize one of them. One is Seth Cromley. He is the captain of the he's the sergeant that's in charge of this area of town, the North Ward. The other is he wears garb of the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors, which is a extremely bureaucratic like mages guild that has to do with the city that generally does business with the City Watch.
So Frank, if I wanted to sidebar with you, can I drag you into a different channel and talk to you super quick?
Oh yeah, if you want, sure. We can go to I think the AFK channel will let us talk.
Hold on, let me just make a narrator channel. Because I want to I want to talk to you and not the rest of the party because I want to be able to withhold this from the party. And also, no asking Lene what I said.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on.
Good.
Let me make a voice channel. I'm sorry. Give me a second, guys. Create channel, voice, narrator, sidebar. Okay. Can you drag us down there, Frank? Okay.
Okay.
So what I want to do is basically ask Sergeant Cromley if he recognizes the body of the person from whom we stole the gems, and then ask if he doesn't know who it is to send a message to Troll Skull Manor when they find out who it is, because I want to make sure that the money or the gems that were stolen go to the family or friends or whomever.
I would say the closest you can do to that is like giving a message to one of the watchmen. They will not let you get close enough.
Okay.
Like you can force your way through, but like the most you could do is giving it to one of the watchmen on the sides. Like they've locked this area down. Like they push you aside, right?
Then I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna tip a gold piece to whatever watchman or whatever is on the outskirts, and let them know, like, once this body's identified, I need a message sent to Troll Skull Manor so that I can reach out to their family, and I'm not going to give more information than that.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
All right.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I know. Hey, y'all leave. Y'all leave. We'll tell you when to come back.
Oh.
They're talking shit.
Probably.
Renee's not going to get that part though, so we'll see. I don't think your note is going to get the results that you think it's going to, but this will be fun.
I mean, I have to play the character. I would not be okay with this.
It's kind of ironic that you're like, let me give this money back to the rightful owners. But we'll see if we uncover that as the story progresses.
Oh, are they not good?
No, it's not even that. It's just who are the rightful owner? Who is the rightful owner of these gems? That's the question.
Oh, it would be very funny if they were stolen.
No, you're not quite.
Right.
Oh,
okay,
there we go.
We're here.
Ready, break.
You're back.
All right.
Our first sidebar. This is fun.
Okay.
Double sidebar action. All right, cool. So yeah, the man in the purple robe is investigating the scene, and he gets back together with Cromley, and they're gonna like talk about what's going on. You can only see this from afar, and unless anyone has something to say, I've got something for Bigsby to make. All right. Bigsby's like, hey, oh, boss. His voice is gonna be different every time. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Want me to find out what they're saying over there?
Yeah, buddy. Go right ahead.
All right, so Bigsby trots over, like, does a whole, like, I'm gonna jump on the roof and, like, dive onto a barrel and, like, crawl over and hear what they have to say, and eventually will make its way back after they've sort of, not dispersed, but, like, they've, like, a group of people shows up to bring the bodies to the local temples, and they start to clean up the scene and make sure that everything is structurally there and all that stuff. And he's like, we should talk. I'll tell y'all what I found. We should talk back at home though.
Okay.
Welcome to the least consistent accent
cat-
ever.
The cat speaks wisely.
The
Cat
voice,
speaks wisely.
the story beat with this whole thing though is that like his voice, like he was just magically given a voice, right, for the first time.
He's trying to figure it out.
It's finding. It's like it's kind of
Finding
honing in
itself.
on the right. Yeah.
Very harsh. Yeah, I'm with you there. That's good.
Right.
Cool. So here's the thing that the nerd guy said. He determined that the gnome was running away from armed pursuers. There were 3 of them. The third person who was chasing isn't among the dead. Let's see. The gnome and his pursuers were moving towards the tavern in Troll Skull Alley, which I think is here. Yeah, like that's here. This is the tavern. And I don't think, and they didn't think that the gnome or the pursuers saw the fireball coming. So that's what's going on. You know what? They might come here and question us. And just as Bigsby finishes saying that, there's a knock at the door.
I'm gonna go answer.
Standing at the door is Sergeant Cromley and the other, the wizard companion.
I'm gonna beckon them to come in.
Yeah, so they come in. Y'all have like a lack of seating for the 2 of them and your entire party, but like you're figuring it out, right?
I toss a pointed look at Blizzak.
Hello. We had some interest in determining what you, the residents of this tavern, or former tavern rather, I guess, know about the occurrences of this evening.
Okay, I step forward first, and I tell him what I did. I say I approached eyewitness. He was a older man and nice fella. Just asked him what he saw, and he said that he saw. I'm not from here, so I haven't seen this personally, but my group described it as one of those puppets that you see in your fall parade on the rooftop, running down the roof, and that like a fireball came from up there.
The wizard.
That's right, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The wizard who now introduces himself as Barnabas Blastwind is his name. He's like, yes, I see. So a Nimblewright, you say? Well, that would be quite peculiar, seeing as most of them don't have the ability to cast spells. I wonder how that might have occurred. Cromley is like,
I wonder.
Let's not jump to conclusions yet, Barnabas.
I wonder as well, but I am just describing to you what the man told me.
Yes, it's certainly an interesting development. We'll take it into consideration.
Agreed.
I'll let Sergeant Cromley and Barnabas know that I didn't see anything and didn't hear anything.
I see. Well, I have surmised that the poor gnomish fellow was actually on his way here as he evaded his pursuers. You wouldn't happen to know him, would you?
No.
Never seen the guy my entire life.
I'd like to explain how we came into possession of Troll Skull Manor. Just give him kind of like the high level recap. We completed a mission for Volo recently and were granted a deed to the property, and have only been living here for about a week.
Yeah, so Sergeant Cromley's actually like reasonably aware of that, yeah, he's like, yes, I see that in my report here. Are you planning on opening the tavern again? That's just
Eventually,
purely out of
I
curiosity.
look at the party.
I think that we're all open to the idea. We've talked about the possibility of it, but we haven't quite come to an agreement on what to do with the place yet. But eventually, yeah, I think we'd like to open it.
Yeah, we're still looking for beer.
That is quite a lot of guild politics to get through. Should you want to do that? Well, I see. At this point, we are going to continue our investigation. We do ask that none of you leave town. While I don't suspect that you would openly create destruction so near to your residence, I can't rule out any of the surrounding population. So if you would be available for a follow-up, we would appreciate it. In the meantime, I hope you have a great night.
Chris opens the door and is the first one to escort them out. We hope you gentlemen have a fantastic night. Thank you for stopping by.
Cool. Dub, give me an insight check.
Okay. Rolled a 10.
All right. Well, then nothing.
I'm not
nothing
very
notable comes
insightful
up.
or perceptive tonight, boys. I apologize.
Yeah, we're not quite there. Cool. All right. So for some time, like you've got the evening, where we're kind of left with like you're at home. It's starting to become nighttime. The City Watch is still patrolling the area heavily. Is there anything that we'd like to do?
I'm gonna ask Blizak if I can speak with him in a sidebar. I'm just gonna like try and pull him aside as we're chilling at home.
We're gonna, for the sake of the campaign, we're gonna limit like true sidebars, and we're gonna ask people not to metagame too hard if it's not.
Yeah, no. I don't
critical.
mean pull him into a different channel in Discord. I mean like
Yeah,
I'm
you're good. I'm just I don't want to set that
In the corner of the...
I'm just gonna explain that when I went and spoke with the city guard, I asked them to alert us when they get the identity of the person that you lifted the gems off, and I'm going to implore you to not fence them prior to us finding out who they belong to, because I'd like to return them to that person's family if we have the ability to.
Blizak nods his head and says, I agree. That is the right thing to do. My impulses for gemstones got the better of me.
And I'm going to chuckle at that and clasp his shoulder and let him know that I appreciate his willingness to do the right thing, and then think nothing else of it.
The last thing that Sergeant Cromley said as he passed out, as he left, he's like, while I do appreciate your efforts to discern what happened in the situation, I do implore you to leave the investigation to us at this point. Trust the Watch to do our job, if you will.
I'm gonna smirk and look at the rest of the party.
Yeah,
like you're gonna do that.
And Chris, kind of in a smart-ass way, as he and an excellent job, I'm sure you all will do. Sarcastically. Okay, cool. So we now have a kind of quiet moment. Us, Blizak, and Aldrich had their.
So this is more of a lore or like a question to Frank. If, as someone in Waterdeep, would I know where the Temple of Gond is? Like where?
It's reasonable. Or like people could get a quick map pretty easily, right?
Okay.
Is that the kind of place we would only visit during the day?
Yeah, it would be closed at night. The only places open at this time of night would be like taverns for the most part.
Which we're already in one.
Well, you're home.
Not one with people.
Right.
So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of questions that I have right now regarding. Obviously, I think we all have questions about like what just happened, why this man was running towards our establishment, but also the fact that like this man clearly had a lot of gold on him, right? And whoever, or the gnome did, and whoever took something off of him left all the gold and took something else. I mean, this whole thing is extremely suspicious. There's like multiple players too with the automaton. Somehow we're in the midst of this, considering that it was just right next to our home. I think that we should investigate this. I think we should go to the Temple of God.
Chris nods in agreement and says, because again, I rolled the same insight. I'm a historian. We should. I think a good night's rest probably wouldn't be a bad idea before we go, so we can attack it by day.
Yeah.
Right. Good.
I am just going to move and sit. Like I'm gonna build a fire in the hearth, and sit on the ground in front of it, while everybody's like, I guess, preparing for bed.
Although I propose, if we're going to the Temple of God to look for clues, wouldn't it be better to go at night when there's no one there?
I'm tired.
I guess I had a long day. Yeah.
You've
It
had
has
a
been a
long
long
day.
night.
Okay.
All right. Well, with
Cool.
that, then I go upstairs to my room to retire for the night. I tell Aldrich, don't wake me up if you have to use the bathroom, because we share a bathroom. Remember that?
As you get onto the second step, there is one last gentle tap at the door. At the front door.
Should we answer that, guys?
Should we ignore that?
I look at the party as I help myself off the ground, and I walk over near the door and try and look out whatever windows we may have that allow me to see who it is without opening it first.
Yeah, with a small but hearty contingent of retainers. Raynor Neverember stands on your porch. In
I moved to open the door. Doesn't matter.
Understated clothing.
Yep. I moved to open the door. I usher.
We
Raynor
open the
in.
door.
Okay. Yeah. And as soon as I see that it's him, I usher him in, and I'm like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right? Why are you here?"
Well, of course I'm okay. I came by to see that you were all right. I heard what happened, and I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure my new friends were got through unscathed.
For the rest of the party, you'll remember, especially Chris, you'll remember that the last time we saw Raynor Neverember was me being like really forcefully warning him to be careful and to go into hiding. And so seeing him in this close proximity to this fireball going off is like really alarming for me. I feel like he's not listening to the warnings that I gave him about the fact that people are on the lookout for people that match his description to get the Stone of Galore. And so I'm like, those feelings earlier that have quelled are like flaring again. So that for the backstory of why I pulled him into the house.
I wanted to stop by and see if I could be of assistance.
I'm going to look to the rest of the party because you guys did more of the investigative stuff than me.
I just want to know. I mean, Raynor, do you know anything else about this incident? Anything that we may not know?
Well, for starters, no more than you do.
Okay.
You were the ones that were here. If you want to fill me in, I can see if I might provide any insight.
All right, when we proceed to fill him in, or I do.
Yeah. So when you get to
I
the
fill him in
point,
as well.
yeah. When you get to the point where he says a gnome was killed in the blast, he asks a clarifying question. He's like, were there any Zents?
Nobody wearing anything
You know what?
easily identifiable, was there?
Yes. Wait, and then Chris actually recalls Blizzak mentioning that there were muds, like there was caked mud, like sewer mud on the bottom of one of the bodies, and maybe that's.
I mean,
it kind of puts the pieces together that potentially maybe they were in the Zent hideout that we were in a couple nights ago.
Just a maybe, yeah.
So is that Chris kind of welcomes that potential lead to the party.
Okay. All right. Well, let me. You might want to sit down for this.
There's no chairs.
I need to fill you in on. I need to fill you in on what's happened over the last few weeks. So to start with, when the Lords of Waterdeep ousted my father, I thought his long dark shadow was finally gone for good. The truth is, I want nothing to do with him. But his spies hound me. One of them is a gnome named Dalakar. He's been watching me for the last several weeks. Then about 10 days ago, he was suddenly nowhere to be seen. My father doesn't trust many people, but he trusted that gnome. I spoke to a few of Dalakar's friends. Apparently he was on a special mission to retrieve the Stone of Galore, and was afraid that the Zentarum or the Xanathar Guild were close to catching him. When he heard about my kidnapping, he wanted more information about the adventurers who had rescued me. I think he might have been planning to pay you to deliver the Stone of Galore to my father in Neverwinter. Seems like he didn't make it here.
That's a lot to unpack.
So you're telling me...
did he have anything on him? Did they find any valuables? Maybe the stone?
You're telling me you think the stone is real?
I think the Stone of Galore is real. I don't think there's treasure hidden behind it, but that's more than enough to make the Xanathar Guild run after it.
At the mention of the valuables, I do a very pointed glance over at Blizak. Well,
do I put the dots together that the gnome that he lifted the gems off of is Dalakar?
Yeah,
he certainly thinks so. And if you can give me an insight check, Aldrich.
I sit in the corner just staring straight ahead, not looking.
I roll a 9.
Wow, you're really just not insightful at all.
Dope.
What could those gems have been for? Who knows?
Wait, are we the rightful owners of those gems?
You're not insightful enough to figure that out.
Somebody else be insightful, please.
Yeah, someone else that's not Chris. Chris is not going to do. He's not going to help.
Yeah, Blizzak, give me an insight check. Yeah.
Oh, come on. What do I get? Oh, 4.
Yeah, no, dude, I have no idea what those gems were for.
Should I try? Should I try?
Yes.
I'll
all right. I'm going for
idiot.
it. I roll a 17. All right.
All right. Like it's you guys with this context can probably infer that he was intending to pay you with those gems.
You see relief wash over me
in order to transport the Stone of Galore.
And the only thing that I say is, I'm so glad that we didn't steal from a crime scene.
Yeah. Sort of.
I mean, technically.
Chris tightens up.
I don't notice. I'm not insightful tonight.
Yes.
Anyway, I think there's more that I can look into. You said that there was a man that tried to escape the crime scene. I can have some of my Harper friends look into that. I'll try and get some information for you.
Chris proudly approaches Neverember and says, "I'm actually now a member of the Harpers. Who are these people? Who are my brothers in arms that you'll be calling on, so I can join them?"
I think you best to follow your own leads, but I'll work with pickup sticks to get another one for you.
Okay. Thank you, Raynar.
You haven't met pickup sticks. Who's your actual which contact did I actually use for y'all for the
for Harpers?
Yeah, for the Harpers. Do you remember who your contact was?
Yaxley, Daphne, Kingra.
No,
it's in the recap channel.
Yeah.
So
Mert.
Dionix.
I'll work with Mert. Yeah.
Mert and Ernie. Okay.
Cool. All right. So we've got a couple of different leads on where we can go. We've got realistically, it's we were talking about the temple and then
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and sit by the fire.
So, now that we figured out that those gems were meant for the party, right?
Yeah.
Can I transfer them to the party inventory?
Sure.
Okay. I'll do that.
I just think it's really ironic that like you stole it and like all that stuff. You wouldn't have gotten it otherwise, but it was totally intended for you anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
If this is us like turning down for the night, I want to do like a quick role play thing with Aldrich.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Unless is everyone else? We're good.
Is this
All good.
sexual? I just want to double check.
It might be.
Okay, just want
No.
Yeah.
So
I want to get in the
Chris-
right mood.
everyone's kind of turning to bed. Aldrich clearly is by the fire. Chris brings out his lyre and says like, "Hey, a song for a friend."
Sure.
Yeah. And so he just starts playing a couple of. I mean, at this point, like we're all adventurers. Like we've heard some of the same songs that Chris plays and everything. And then there's just kind of a beat after one of the songs and says, Chris says, "Aldrich, the way your eyes lit up today, I've not seen anything like it. I feel like there's more than meets the eye with you. What's going on?"
Aldrich clearly kind of like tenses up a little bit. Whatever relaxation he was feeling as a result of listening to your music and experiencing that escape is gone. And I start to speak, looking just at the fire. I don't look at you. And I say, I was a soldier before all this. Garrison duty on a border corridor, not the kind of soldiering anyone writes songs about. We held a line, we followed orders, and I was good at it, because I believed what I was told. That the chain of command existed to make hard decisions so men like me didn't have to. And then civilians started showing up at our barricade. There were families, there were women with kids who were too tired to cry, old men leaning on younger ones. They'd been caught between us, and whatever was coming through the trees, they came to the only thing that looked like a wall. We sent the request up, shelter them behind the perimeter just temporarily. The answer came back to deny entry. It was deemed a tactical risk. We had limited supplies. By all accounts, it was a lawful decision. I looked at my commander, who I trusted beyond reproach. I searched his face for a crack, any sign that he knew what we were doing, and he looked right back at me, steady, certain, and the order stood. I didn't disobey. I want you to understand, I'm not telling you this because I did something brave. I'm telling you this because I didn't. I stood on that wall and I watched. And when the fighting reached the families, it was slow enough to hear. The garrison held, the quarter was never breached, and the operation was classified a military success. I paused long enough for those words to kind of sink in with you, still staring at the fire. Yes. And I say, today I walked around the corner onto our street, and there were 11 people dead on the ground, and I just stood there, same as before. Same bloody useless standing there. I took an oath that night at the wall. I swore I wouldn't look away again. I swore I'd act where others delay, and for the first time that it actually mattered, the first time that it was our street with our people, I wasn't there, and even when I was, I froze. I don't know why I'm telling you this, I just couldn't sit here and not say something. And then I stand up, and I pick up the couple of pieces of armor that I had taken off, and my greatsword, and I solemnly walk up to the study where I retire for the evening.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So,
good job, Aldrich.
I didn't have that pre-written or anything.
Yeah.
Poignant moment. So sleep comes probably a little bit less easy than it did the night before. We wake to a new troll school alley, right? it's not the quiet, friendly neighborhood that you're used to. Instead, it's patrolled by city watchmen. But you open up a morning of opportunity to chase down leads, to explore the city, and really do whatever you want, whether you want to get involved or not. So it's up to you with what you want to do with the day.
I think that we gather our thoughts in the morning and we head to the temple.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're down. We're all finally downstairs. We're in the area where soon there will be many tables and chairs, but for now it's an empty, barren room. But
Yeah.
just look around the room in agreement with each other. It was a long evening. Feelings were felt, but we have an investigation to start, so we move forward.
Cool.
And Chris
Yeah.
makes it a point to give Aldrich his space. By the way, he's not interrogating him or.
By all
letting him
accounts,
sit in that.
I am moving with a little more pep in my step.
I didn't feel shit.
A weight off your shoulders.
Not off my shoulders, just somebody else there to help me carry it.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I mean, just FYI, my character, I'm like early 20s, just kind of. I'm still young. You guys are older than me.
I love this.
Have we got our furniture yet? I forget.
Yeah, we'll say that some of it has been delivered, right? But
Okay.
he started with the bedroom furniture first because obviously that would be what you would want to prioritize. It's been coming over the course of the week, right? So yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. So are we heading out to the temple? Or are we
Let's
heading
do
out
it.
somewhere else? Yeah.
Temple.
So the House of an Inspired Hands, it sits on the corner of Seawatch Street and Shark Street in the Seaward. If you find the Seaward,
Did you ping that, Frank?
I'm looking
We're
for
looking for it. Seawatch Street and Shark Street.
Yeah,
What part of the map is it in again?
in the Seaward.
Oh, here we go. Shark Street and see what I found it.
Okay, ping
Right
it.
by West. Here, I'm gonna ping it. Ready? 3, 2,
Just ping it
1.
for me. There we go.
Right here.
Yeah. Close to. So it's this big building actually. This red one, red big building,
Okay.
south.
The one shaped like a dick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of.
The red.
Nice.
Wait.
Okay, so as we approach the temple, the House of Inspired Hands looks like a cross between a temple and a workshop. The symbol of Gond, a tooth cogged with 4 spokes, is displayed prominently. You see a silhouette of a humanoid shape perching on the rooftop. It extends an arm, releasing a tiny metal sparrow into the sky. The bird does a few loops in the air, then veers right towards you. We're not going to get into a battle map here, but everyone roll initiative for me.
Oh, crap.
Whoa, we did it! Wait, to my initiative. 13. Wait, so no battle map? Are we gonna set up? Where do we want to?
No, we're not gonna do a battle map. We're just theater of the mind to this one.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
I rolled the wrong one. I rolled
Yeah,
You
roll
rolled an
initiative
int
again. You're good.
save.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
Initiative.
And this is a bird that just attacked us, Frank.
There's a bird that's flying straight at you. You're first, Chris. What would you like to do?
What's the bird made of? Is it like metal?
Looks
or
like
is it
a it's like
It's a bird.
metal bird.
It's an actual bird. It's not.
Bigsby's like, that's no bird.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Birds aren't real. Anyway.
Okay. And again, the bird's not. It's not a mechanical bird. It's an actual bird.
It's a mechanical actual bird.
It is a mechanical bird. It's made of metal.
As all birds are mechanical. But it is made
Dude.
of metal.
Okay.
It is not as well
Chris is gonna
camouflaged as
show
other
off that
birds.
heat metal.
That's right. Okay. So
It is in
here's
fact
what I'm
made of
gonna do.
metal. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So here's what we're gonna do. In in like that second, right? Chris is just imbued with magic. His lyre flashes gold. Like he's becoming level 3 like in that moment. And there's this innate like feeling in him, like just play it, right? And ironically, one of the songs that he was playing to Aldrich last night, Chris plays, called Forge Fire Sonata, also known as Heat Metal. So I'm gonna cast that, and it's a Constitution save of 13. And if this thing hits, then this guy's gonna not have a fun day.
Yeah, so the bird melts on itself, but here's the thing, it was flying right at you, so while it is no longer controlling its flight, it is now
a ball of molten metal.
A ball of molten metal that's flying at the party. So instead of continuing our combat initiatives, I'm going to need everyone to roll. It's a pretty easy save, like it's coming from a long way away, but like give me a dex save, everybody.
Oh no.
What about athletics? What about athletics?
Give me a dex save, everyone. It's only 5.
Oh, good. I think all of us, except for Dean.
Oh,
Chris, you idiot!
XP just explodes.
Oh no.
Yeah, this thing.
Oh wait.
Slams on the ground next to you. What's up?
I rolled a dex. Okay, we're good.
This thing slams on the ground in between you and sort of explodes with hot molten metal everywhere. And Dean takes 2 points of fire damage as he didn't get out of the way in time to shield himself. Bigsby jumps off your shoulder onto Aldrich's shoulder for a second, just, looking for more stable ground.
I am currently, my hair, like part of my hair is a little bit like still on fire and like smoking.
Yeah.
I turn.
Yeah, your eyebrows are toast.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just. I look at Chris and be like, "What the fuck?"
and Chris says, "Not your favorite song, huh?"
Yeah. So
Dean takes 2 more points of psychic damage. I'm just kidding. Just joke.
Yeah. The like the creature like at the top of the temple like sort of makes like a like sort of like looking expression and then like goes back into the temple via a hatch. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that wasn't suspicious.
All right, so the Temple of Gond is open and abuzz with activity during daylight hours. It is a combination between like a temple and a workshop, like I might have said before. So the main hall of the temple holds a dozen marble pedestals. Each one bears a prize-winning invention or a miniature model of some other extraordinary creation. Among the displays, there are several that stand out. There's a 4-foot-tall working model of a clock tower that rings at the top of every hour. It's made of wood, iron, bronze, and glass, with brass bells and delicate hands formed of solid gold. There's a wooden flying machine that has wings that flap when it becomes airborne. A miniature model of a mechanical dragon turtle has a brass plate affixed to its pedestal that reads, "Big Belchy sank in Deepwater Harbor on the Day of Wonders in 1363. A functional waking helmet equipped with small articulated metal arms and hands that gently slap the wearer if he or she falls asleep. And a miniature model of a red submarine shaped like a manta ray has a brass plate affixed to its pedestal that reads, "The Scarlet Marpenoth," which is a Lantanese submersible launched in 1489. As you approach the center of the hall, you're met by a dragonborn priest of bronze dragon ancestry. You can pretty easily tell. Hello, visitors. How can the House of Inspired Hands serve you today?
I mean, Chris approaches and says, "We're here. You've probably heard there was a scene the other day, and we're here to investigate potential leads to see if we can take down some of the folks that were responsible for the carnage in front of our tavern."
I see. Are you working with the Watch?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me a persuasion check.
Dean? Yeah, Dean. I didn't say yes.
I say yes in a very unconvincing way.
Yeah.
Like,
you didn't roll well? Okay.
I rolled 8. I don't know.
All right. While I understand that you're interested in protecting your community, and we have plenty of adventurers that stop by our halls, I implore you to let the watch do their work. Is there something in particular you were looking to find out?
This is more of an aside. Actually, this is kind of back to like the general story of everything. You mentioned earlier that these automatons are usually used in like the parade. You said.
Sure.
I kind of missed that.
So you're mentioning those automatons?
Oh no,
then?
this is kind of going back to what you.
Oh yeah,
had,
yeah. So I think that the wizard had mentioned that they were called Nimblewrights when he visited and questioned y'all.
Okay.
Did a Nimblewright throw the bird at us?
You could it was pretty far away, but like it was a humanoid that kind of moved mechanically, so theoretically.
And so I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring up the fact. Oh, sorry, I missed it. I'm gonna bring up the fact that a potential Nimblewright was seen at the scene of the crime, and when we were approaching, we may have seen another one that threw a mechanical bird at us. I'm wondering if you know anything about this.
Well, yes, I mean we're familiar with Nimblewrights around here. There's plenty of peaceful ones. Do you have any indication that this would-be assassin came from here?
No, but I do find it rather odd that a mechanical bird was just tossed at us while we were approaching this building.
Wait, I'm sorry. A mechanical bird attacked you from where?
From the top of the building.
Oh, he said from the top of the building. And then she sort of like exhales quickly. And she looks at some of the acolytes. Has anyone checked on Nim recently? And she's like, follow me. And you head sort of towards the attic of the temple, like in the back rooms. You're through a couple of staircases. As you get to the door to the attic, there's a lock on the door that Willetta struggles with. She's like, I don't recognize this lock. I don't have a key to open it.
Aldrich turns and looks at Chris.
Allow me, and I attempt to lockpick. What's the check for that one? Or I have thieves' tools. Do I even need to do it, or can I just?
Yeah. Give me a dexterity check, a thieves' tools check.
Thieves' tools check, which is where? So sorry. Use.
Where? Give me like just a dexterity.
Okay, yeah. Dex 3, 2, 1.
Oh boy!
Oh my god!
You rolled a nat 1.
Silver, I think, can take care of it.
Freddy's thieves' tools break off in the lock, and it renders the door inaccessible. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, exactly.
He might open the door if you can convince him. And she bangs on the door and she's like, Nim, I know you're in there. You better listen to these people. You attacked them in the street. Do any of y'all want to chime in?
I approach the door, and I, with my +4 persuasion, say, hey, we just want to talk. You can just open the door. We mean you no harm. We just want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So do I roll?
Give me give me persuasion with advantage.
Persuasion with advantage. Okay, you're gonna have to fucking help me with that one.
You right-click it.
Right-click it.
Click advantage. Yeah.
Choose advantage.
Or you can just roll it twice and choose the best one. But
and then I roll. And then I roll. 16.
Okay, you're barely good enough. But slowly you do hear the door click open. And you're met with a rather timid, puppet-like mechanical creature in an attic that's full of little tinkerings, small inventions, and it sort of opens the door and like hangs its head and steps away. Valletta, who's the dragonborn that you're with, is sees what's behind him, and she is like, "Nim, you're not supposed to be inventing things without supervision." And she calls for some acolytes to come up and take his inventions away.
No.
I as somebody unfamiliar with this god and its methods of worship, I kind of like lean forward and look at the dragonborn and ask, is he not paying homage to your god through his inventions? Why can't he invent?
Well, he's allowed to, but he has to do so under supervision. You see, he's not a citizen. He's a construct. Dangerous things can happen, like that bird, as an example, going haywire.
Understood.
Maybe talk to him.
Can Chris actually suggest? Yeah. Can we have before we call the acolytes? Can we have a conversation with him first, and we'll be the first ones to turn him over after our conversation. Yeah. And if
he doesn't speak, but I'm happy to help interpret.
Okay.
He understands speech, but like he can't speak himself. He sort of communicates through gestures.
Man, Frank, you gave us a hard one today.
I'm testing your ability to trust or not trust NPCs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chuckle
for those of you,
start to make my way back down the stairs into the main sanctuary of the temple.
I'm gonna keep. I'll stay up top and just keep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what would you like to know?
Does he know anything about what happened yesterday?
I'm trying to think if like she wouldn't even know what happened yesterday. Okay. She has a general understanding, so he'll like sort of gesture, and she's like, he's asking what happened yesterday.
Yeah, well, yesterday there was a large explosion near where we live, and one of the bystanders near the explosion said that an automaton looking figure was seen potentially throwing a fireball at the ground. We're just trying to find as much information as possible, and considering there are automatons right here, I figured you might know something about it.
Yeah, so what occurs here is a brief conversation, like where it's back and forth. Like there's nothing that would indicate that Valletta is lying. She's just trying to get the information out of him. And she turns to you eventually, and she says, "Well, I might have a lead for you. You see, Nim here created another Nimblewright. He wanted to have a friend. But Nim's creation fled in a confused terror about a month ago, and Nim hasn't seen it since. I think this is a huge period of liability for us, seeing as he is a member of this temple, so while I did say to let the City Watch do their thing, I think this is another issue, and we might be prepared to hire you to track down this Nimblewright and destroy it."
I mean, I can't speak for the group entirely, but actually I look over at the rest of the group. Like I think we should work with her in order to figure out where this automaton could have been or could have gone.
I agree. Aldrich's already downstairs, so I agree with you as well. I'm very anti City Watch and say, without even consulting the rest of the group, it's consider it done. Where should we go?
Nim holds his finger up and scuttles over to one of his contraption. One thing that you might notice as you do that is he doesn't move all that well, right? So like he's kind of like a slow moving, not particularly acrobatic, maybe not rooftop clambering Nimblewright. But he holds out a device that looks like this.
Okay.
And he starts making signals to Valletta. And Valletta's like, oh, this might be useful. Nim built this to help track down his creation. You see, it's a Nimblewright detector. It works by holding down its trigger, and when it comes within 500 feet of a Nimblewright, other than Nim, the umbrella begins to spin, whir, and click. And accelerates as the distance to the target lessens, reaching a massive velocity and volume when the Nimblewright other than Nim is within 30 feet of the device. You could take it if it'll help.
Chris snatches it away and says, we'd love to. And then he looks right at Valletta and says, it now seems like this is a quest of significant importance to you and your establishment. Financially, what are the implications of?
Of course, we should make it official.
How much do you think it would cost? Yeah, how much do we think we're talking here to deliver Nim's creation and pretend like this never happened?
If you could return with proof of its destruction, I'll see that you are rewarded with a reward of 500 gold. And then each member of your party, we can also give you one of our inventions to take with you as a show of good faith. So all of you can choose one of these inventions. They're more fun than anything. But the first one is adjustable stilts. They take a minute to put on or remove, and they increase the height of any humanoid wearing them by 2 to 5 feet. They weigh 8 pounds and they're 1 foot long when collapsed.
They come in handy for me.
Yeah, Blizzak's he's got stars in his eyes. Aldrich, we'll say we met in the foyer to talk about this, so you're part of it. The next one is a backpack parachute. A humanoid wearing this piece of gear can deploy the parachute as a reaction while falling, or as an action otherwise. The parachute requires at least a 10-foot cube of unoccupied space in which to employ. It doesn't open fast enough to slow a fall of less than 60 feet. If it has sufficient time and space to deploy properly, the parachute allows its wearer to land without taking fall damage. Once it's been used, the parachute takes 10 minutes to repack. Next one is a barking box. The metal cube 6 inches on the side is a crank on the top. Using an action to wind the crank activates the box for 8 hours. While activated, the box barks whenever it detects vibrations within 15 feet of it, as long as the box and the source of vibrations are in contact with the same ground or substance. A switch on one side of the box sets the device to emit either a small dog's bark or a large dog's bark. And the last one is a matchless pipe. A switch made of flint is built into the bowl of this fine wooden smoking pipe. With a few flicks of the switch, the pipe lights itself. So you can choose one of those each.
That's for Master Volan.
I want the pipe.
Well, there's multiples. There's multiples, but you can choose one of the 4. Yeah.
Aldrich picks up a backpack parachute.
Oh, we're grabbing this now? We're not getting it after?
Yeah, you take it now. You get 500 gold after, but they're
Aldrich picks up the backpack parachute and says, "This'll come in handy."
It might.
Hey, Bigsby, do you want the barking box?
That sounds terrible.
That's what I thought.
No, thank you.
I'll take the barking box. I think the barking box would be fun lore with Chris not liking. Maybe I use it to freak out.
Alarm.
It's fair. Is the matchless pipe just a pipe?
It's just a pipe. Yep.
I'll take the pipe.
All right.
When
2 pipe enjoyers, a parachute.
When Chris picks up the barking box, Aldrich mutters to himself, as if he wasn't loud enough.
Yeah, that'd be a great front door alarm, right? You never know.
Will be.
He's just thinking out for the party. Blizzak, what do you take?
I'll take the stilt shoes.
Cool. Of course.
I need some height.
Okay. Do we? And then before we go, do we have a lead? Do we ask Nim and Valletta? Okay. where would you suggest we go to find this lost creation?
Well, if you could somehow secure use of a griffin, that might help you clear a lot of the city quickly. If not, you might just need to search around close by to where this thing might be hiding. If you have any other leads, that could be helpful. But this would confirm.
Chris says, I think it would be valuable if we had Nim join us on this search.
Are you sure? He doesn't really move well.
You can drag him around?
Chris says he can point, can't he? He can point, can't he?
I'm going to say, are you going to carry him the whole way? You going to carry him the whole way?
Yes.
Chris,
yes. I'll put him on my shoulders.
You can't just sell him at the closest market.
I think it would be best if we kept an eye on Nim in the short run.
Okay. Chris looks at Nim. Hey, you have a mind of your own. What do you think? Do you want to join us?
And he sort of like hides his face and like shakes his head.
Okay.
Like
right.
I don't.
We'll let him go. I had to ask. Frank doesn't want to do Nim.
He's Quasimodo. I just don't know what actual use he has going with you.
I'll be able to understand.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't even interpret what he says. Like she's the one doing all the interpreting. So yeah.
Chris wants somebody else to put in front of the arrow that comes down the hole.
Yeah, he does. All right. Cool. All right, what do we do from here? Oh, sorry. What did you take, Blizzak? What was your item?
Stilts.
The stilt shoes.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Well, in terms of a griffin, I may know a druid.
Good point. Traditionally, Night's Watch, or the city's, I keep saying Night's Watch, City Watch, Lord's Alliance would be the ones who are in charge of griffins in the city, but you might be able to get a hold of one. Otherwise,
Aldrich, you're buddy with the, what was that guy's name that we interacted with?
Captain Staggett in the dock ward?
Yeah, maybe that's a good lead.
The dock ward's kind of like the lowest of the low across the City Watch, so I don't know that Captain Staggett's got access to a griffin, but we can go and ask.
Whatever you guys think. I'm
well,
not...
they had one. The guy flew by and told us to get off the roof on one, so they got one around here somewhere.
Well, that was the detachment from Sergeant Cromley and Nimbus. What was his name? Barnabas Winterblast. Or whatever his name was.
Cromley and Barnabas. Nimblewright.
I mean, we can go and ask Sergeant Cromley. That's our home turf.
Well, we can't ask him because he told us to
stay out of it.
Stick our nose in the investigation and take it on himself. If we go and approach him about this, then he's going to know we're involved.
By that logic,
can we find just like
a City Watch know that we're interfering?
Not right now, no. We walked here on our own accord.
Okay.
The only people that know are the people running the temple because we asked them.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should be a little more stealthily involved.
As everyone knows, we are
questions.
We are acolytes of the Temple of Gond. We've always been.
Should we just find a grunt griffin dude, and just shake him down? Maybe we hop on the rooftops again, and eventually one of them's going to yell at us, and we beckon them down and have a conversation with them there.
What an interesting way to ask for help by violating the law.
Well, who's the other guy that came by before the
Raynor
person in charge showed up?
Yeah, let's go talk with Raynor Neverember.
I'm sure he knows.
Raynor.
I'm sure he knows somebody.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Did he ever leave the Yawning Portal, or is he still there?
He is staying at an undisclosed location, but he did say he'd get back to you.
I'm gonna pull out my paper. What's it called?
Bird?
I'm gonna pull out my paper bird.
All right. Cool.
And I'm gonna send a message to Raynor Neverember, telling him that we need access to a griffin. and that we can be found. Where do we want to be found, guys? Do we want to just stay here for a minute?
No, it's just we'll meet him back at the tavern.
Okay. So I'm gonna send a paper bird to Raynar Neverember, saying that this is Aldrich, Ironheart. My party needs access to a griffin post haste. Please meet us back at Troll Skull Manor as soon as you can. And I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to let it fly out of my hands.
Cool. All right. So you're heading home then, or?
Well, we just told him that's where he's going to meet us. So
yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Hang on.
It'd be
Sorry,
real
I'm
weird if he
But
showed
maybe
up
on the
and we
way
weren't there.
home.
I'm scrambling a bit.
Maybe on the
but
way
I'm
home
gonna
we.
make sure.
Kind
Well,
of like
I mean,
I'm gonna pull up my
it's
pipe.
gonna take time. It's gonna take time for the message to get there. Maybe we could just say, meet us this evening in Troll Skull Manor. That'll give us some time to do something.
The bird is gone,
until
my
the evening
friend.
when he shows up.
The bird is gone.
What I can do is
Rewind time.
unsend the
Bird is
bird.
not gone yet.
Shoot the bird down.
Bird.
I will
Because-
turn into a bird.
I'll use heat
You
metal
guys are
again.
fine. You guys are
I'll
fine.
use
I'm just
metal
trying
again.
to. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure things work. So, cool.
Frank did not expect us to solve this problem this way.
Well, no. Like we're doing okay.
Solve the problem.
Cool. When you arrive home, there's no indication that anything's wrong. But when you step inside, there is actually like kind of familiar face sitting on one of the few stools, plucking a lute.
Volo.
No, not quite. He is three strings, which is the bard that performs often at the Yawning Portal. And he's like, it took you all forever to get here.
He's better than you, Chris.
I assure you, I'm much better than I appear.
Well, how long exactly have you been waiting?
I'm not quite sure, but I don't like to be kept waiting. Anyway, you reached out to Raynar. I'm here to give you some information.
Okay.
We'll say instead. Let me pull that back. You reached out to our mutual friend, and he sent me here on his behalf.
Okay. And what news do you have?
You told him that the local herbalist saw a man running away from the scene, and that there was a third assailant that was not accounted for. That man matches the description of an Erstal Floxen, a suspected member of the Black Network. Another Northward resident claims she saw Erston enter Gralhund Villa in the Northward shortly after the fireball incident. The resident reported him to the City Watch because Erstal looked suspicious. Two City Watch constables spoke to Lord Gralhund, and he assured them that no one had broken into the estate and that everything was fine. The constables had no grounds for a search warrant, so they didn't pursue the matter. But we believe that Lord Gralhund may be mixed up with the Dark Network in some way, or the Black Network in some way. I suggest you investigate them.
Justice requires no warrant.
Well, more accurately, I suggest you do something with this information. Might you take a word of advice from an experienced operative?
Of course.
All right, so here's the way I see it. There's two ways that you can approach this. You can infiltrate the villa, and investigate. Comes with a lot of risk, but potentially leaves you with more of the upside. You know, if the stone's there, you might be able to procure it. Also, any assassin that might have been involved could be part of the scene. The flip side, if you get caught invading and potentially harming a noble family, well, that's gonna be serious legal issues should it not be sorted out. The other thing you could do is bring this information to the City Watch and let them handle it. I imagine old Barnabas Blastwind would find that this corroborates their story and makes getting a warrant a lot easier. They might find the fugitive and then and move on from there. That's got a little bit less upside. You probably won't end up with the stone if that's the case, but you do stay on the right side of the law. What do you think is more important to you?
Chris kind of deeply exhales. Well, I already know what the Boy Scout wants to do.
The most important law I follow is the law of righteous vengeance. I say we go.
I say we go.
Chris is shocked and says, away we go.
Hold on.
Right.
Three strings. Did our mutual friend mention anything about receiving a paper bird for a request for a griffin?
Oh, yeah. Here, he thinks that's a bad idea, man. While it's possible, his and the party's lack of connection with the Lord's Alliance would make that quite difficult, and it creates a much bigger search area for what you're looking for.
Did he at least give you my paper bird back?
Yeah, you can have it here.
Okay.
Although it is just a regular piece of paper now, so it's not magical anymore. Once it arrives.
I just mutter, "God damn it!" and I crumple it up and throw it in the fire.
You did aid in our investigation though, so your message did get us to this solution a lot quicker. So
excellent.
Cool.
By the way, before we go, can we get it? I'm the only one that's used a spell slot, so this is very selfish of me to ask. But a short rest or long rest or something.
You can long rest. We'll call it that.
Okay, cool.
Also, who's
not a lot of combat this phase, but yeah. Go ahead.
Who's carrying that weird contraption, the little Dr. Seuss looking thing?
The nibble. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Just check that every now and
I'll
then.
carry it. I'll carry it.
There you go.
Can you just check that every now and then? Just mention.
I think we'll hear it.
Oh, is that what? It's just. But you have to pull the trigger though.
It like spins and goes.
You take it
I
out.
just imagine Silvar just a little mini umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're not going to get into the villa thing. I know this is ending a little bit early, but
sure.
I'm going to bring up the map here, at least so you can see what we're working with here. Hang on just a second.
The floor is very wet.
Where's my map?
Floor is lava.
They're not giving me a lot of. Okay, so this upper part is the upper floor, and the lower part is the main floor. That's we're gonna treat that as bushes, right? So this is a locked gate that you encounter.
Oh, so it's like a courtyard.
It's in a courtyard, right?
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So bottom floor is bottom is the ground floor. It's the courtyard, bushes. Okay, got it.
Yep. There's an arcane lock on the gate. So you can think for a week on how you're going to get around or that sort of thing. The estate is well tended, and spring. It's spring, so large trees provide shade. So those bushy areas are trees. The through the trees, you can see a large balcony enclosed by an iron railing above the mansion's main entrance. The balcony is 20 feet above the ground. The yard is looked after by a menacing groundskeeper named Turv Taldrid, and 2 mastiffs. So you see them in the yard. Cool. And yeah. In addition, where is this? Okay, well we won't get to that. So we're outside the villa. We're ready to enter. I assume we want to do this at night. Probably. We're gonna give you time to rest, but we'll probably go for that at night. So next week we will pick up with assaulting the villa. I just think that's like a whole session. Right? 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Yeah, so that's where we got. That's where we'll leave it.
Are people free next week, or?
I will not be able to play next week.
Gotcha. Okay,
cool. I imagine like I'm always for like adding additional session, but I think our commitment to every other week makes sense, and that gives us flexibility if people aren't available, and if we all want to play again as it goes, then that's good. Sorry, this ends up being short, but like such is the nature of this. I'd rather like do this than like have one little encounter inside the mansion and then pick it up 2 weeks later. So yeah, I think y'all did really well for what it's worth.
Huh? Thank you.
Let's make the mansion a good night. It's gonna be a good full session in there. Yeah.
Y'all did well.
Time to get spells figured out too.